Hello friends, welcome to Days in Life. Today we will discuss about hope and optimism. We frequently use both the terms, whether being hopeful or being optimistic. What are these two things? What is the difference between the two and how we should be? Even we'll touch upon even pessimist and realist also. So when we say somebody is hopeful, the hopeful is person who believe that he will succeed because of directly his own efforts. So he is in the hope. A optimistic is person who believe he will succeed due to his own efforts, due to maybe luck, due to maybe action of others, or maybe by seeking somebody's help. The optimistic person is not only depending on his direct efforts, but indirect efforts also, where seeking somebody's help is not wrong. So when we can say one is a direct action, his own action, and is even depending others also. I'll give you some interesting incidents. In Uddhav Gita, Uddhav asked Lord Krishna, in the infamous game of the dice, why Yudhishthira lost or why Duryodhana win? Lord Krishna replies, in that game, Duryodhana knows that he was not very good in the game of the dice. He took the help of his maternal uncle Shakuni. And because of help of Shakuni, he win the game. On the other side, Yudhishthira feel that he can win on his own, and he lost. So Yudhishthira was the hopeful and Duryodhana was the optimistic. Yudhishthira also has an option of approaching to Lord Krishna, but he did not approach. And that's why he lost. So it's very important to be optimistic instead of simply being hopeful. So in the hope, it's emotions which are supreme, and the optimism, it is basically outcome which is supreme. Another interesting point is that there are the studies which says optimistic people lives 10 to 11% more than the ordinary people. And needless to say, optimistic people are much more healthier, because many times in the life you go through adverse time or difficult time where stress has to be there. Optimistic people not only sail through that time, but most of the time they are successful also in such a period. And in the period of the stress, different people have different manifestation, so you develop other disease also, which optimistic people will definitely can avoid. Now coming to another important point where many people suggest you should be realistic. Being realistic and being pessimistic is very thin difference. Realistic is someone which is very close to pessimism, or you can say a realist is someone who makes completely unbiased judgment, who does not see things through any kind of filter, whether negative or the positive. So where the difference is, a realist person, they keep emotions out of equation, and when a pessimistic person, he bring emotions also. So that is the difference between realist and the pessimistic person. But practically you see how difficult it is to keep your emotions out. So if you cannot keep your emotions out, then realist and pessimistic is one and same thing. So which means you have three choices. You can be either hopeful, or you can be optimist, or you can be pessimist. You can't be realist actually. So out of these three, I will certainly suggest let her be optimistic person. Now look at a case. A student has to approach for admission, whether into medical, whether into NDA or CDS or maybe IAS or IM, wherever it is. What hopeful person will do? Hopeful person says, I am preparing, I will get through. because he's depending on his own efforts. What optimistic person will do in that case? He says, I am preparing also. I will take coaching also. I will seek the help of my seniors also. I will see the last 10 years papers also. So he will make a lot of effort to get it through. In the same situation, what pessimistic person will do? He will say 15 lakh students are applying, only 10,000 seats. Very difficult. So much of competition, so much of reservations. So pessimistic person will see the negative side. And when you see this negative side, very difficult to get through. Same way, you think about somebody is planning for a promotion. What will be the difference between the approach of the hopeful person, optimistic person and the pessimistic person? Same way, think of applying for a job. Think of a difference between hopeful person, optimistic person and pessimistic person. So there are three different approaches. So I would like to conclude, let us be optimistic, not only hopeful. Being hopeful only does not work. And certainly not pessimistic and realistic. Somebody says when one should be realistic. Realistic is a very thin line who can keep the emotions out. So practically realistic something does not exist if you cannot keep your emotions out. So friends, if you want to know more about being optimistic and how you can be optimistic, it also can be helped through the different kind of coaching. We can help you out. You can reach out to us through our website or through our mobile number, which is given in the end of the video. I hope this video will be useful to you. Thank you very much for watching us today. Thank you very much, friends.